Just let me know quick. Also, why there have been very little audience in the stream? Is it the case with everyone else, or people have just stopped attending my streams? Bear market things, true. That's true as well. Audio good. That's good. So let's begin with the stream. I guess there probably won't be anyone further joining. So let's start. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's having a good time with the market. I think these are really good conditions, to be honest, unless as long as you are just staying patient and you are not feeling the need to be in a position always. Past few days were good after down only to be longing for reversals. We got some few longs, good longs here and there. Ever since we tapped 84K, that was your trigger to start being cautious. Did point that out multiple times since yesterday that unless we reclaim back this 84K area, it's a point to be patient. We discussed the same this morning on the stream as well. Pretty much playing out. A lot of alts and majors still really weak against this bottom BTC range. Like for example, you can see AVE already breaking down from this. By the way, it's 4% down, so you can take profits if you want. I actually didn't even want to enter this trade. There was some guy uh, in the active question constantly tagging me on why you are not giving short if you expect lower, and I was like, okay, here you go take a shot. But yeah, Ave is going good. Apart from that, yeah. So I think unless 84K gets reclaimed again, do not confuse me for being really bearish or something. I am super bullish right now midterm. Um, any dips we are getting, I am accumulating ETH and Sol spot heavy. I have given those spot calls for the group as well. I think once we are done with FOMC, market is up for a strong reversal rally towards before summer begins. So yeah, me calling for a bit lower or me shorting does not mean that my upside plan in the market for midterm has been invalidated. I'm still really bullish. Any move down, I'll continue adding more to my spot. Um, what point did you buy Sol in ETH? Can't just go to active spot section. There you can see my entries and the call I have made. So just give me a minute. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's get back to the stream. So, where was I? What exactly were we talking about? Um, so I completely forgot where we were, which stage of discussion we were on the stream, but uh, yeah. So few of the things, like high time frame, I'm still really bullish. I think once we are done with FOMC, next week, we are up for a strong rally towards like before summer begins. Before that, now where do I expect things to bottom out short term? I think especially the way the daily is closing right now, it's still 4 hours to go, but probably nothing much happens now. But the way daily is looking right now, I would say like to me this price action reminds very much, and I pointed this out this morning, and we discussed in the morning stream as well. This reminds me of the early Jan price action. How it is that initially we got the sweep of the lows during like Jan 10, and we got a good bounce from the sweep. Everyone got bullish, and then we got the final fake breakdown, and we got V-shaped recovery followed by that. I think we kind of get the same where we got the sweep of lows. We got a good buyback out of it. Now I feel like the way the price is curling back down, we get like final impulsive breakdown into like mid 70s, 73K, and followed by a V-shaped recovery post FMC. So that's kind of the plan I have for that. Once we get closer to the lows, I'll probably call out limits which would start from like mid 75, 75.5 down till like 71. This is where I'll scale into my BTC swing position within validation below 69. Sorry, below 69, and then targeting like 90 and 100K. So this is kind of the play I'm looking for the next week. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean that the price should go to 75 or 73 before we get a rally. It very much could just, begin from here. For that, I'll at least wait for 84K, right? I'm not selling my ETH and Sol spot to be buying from lower. I'm still holding them. If our 75K plan plays out, I'll definitely be adding more to them. If not, I'm comfortable with the size I already have on both of them, right? So this is kind of how I plan on playing this market, which is that if this is the bottom, like if we just make a higher low over here, then for leverage longs, we wait for 84K reclaim. If and we let our spot buys on ETH and Sol print for us. If not, and we get like a 73, 75K pullback, that's where I add more to my spot packs. Add new fresh swing longs on leverage, and we ride it towards 90, 100K, right? So in either case, I see market back towards 90 to 100K before summers. Now, whether it's right from here or whether it's from mid 75Ks, that's something we let the market decide, and we react accordingly, right? So these are my initial thoughts that I have on the market. As usual, I'd love to know from you people how your trading has been. What do you think about the market, or anything in general you want to be talking about? I got fully. I got out fully after summit, waiting on your call to get in. Maybe Sol 90 BTC 76. Rahim, I think like I'm already in Sol, right? Sol 100. Like if Sol gets to 100, I am buying further heavy, right? I am probably doubling down on my spot I have right now, which is currently like 114 average entry. So yeah, I'm not ruling out 100 retest on Sol, but yeah, I think like the kind of the way I see market playing out, I don't mind if I buy at 115 or 100. To be honest, it's just a 10% difference if you have like 80, 90% targets to the upside. What price did you buy Sol in ETH? Yeah, Sidek, thanks for sharing. These are the entries I have for the group. Can you argument why this cannot be the beginning of a bear market or a larger correction for SP at 46? Do you mean okay? You want to know my thoughts on stocks? I think um, I find this very similar to the August 23 pullback on stocks. This is a EMA I found. Like I tested this EMA on a lot of pullbacks over the past few years, and I found this the most accurate one. So this is like 150 on 2 day. And the last one, we the last time we retested around here was October, and it was the exact 10% pullback from the highs, similar to what we have over here. I'm not saying that we cannot get few percentages lower even. Like I could see us going towards probably sweeping like September lows into 5300. I could see that and then deviation and reclaim back. But overall, I think like the point is like Rhyme, you're asking what if it's stocks bear market starting, right? I don't think so, man. Like, do you really think Trump lets like I get how he's not affected by this recent move down, as few weeks or months later he could just call this a small volatility, as I think some people from his administration are already calling this. They are saying that it's just a volatility that they don't care about, and they won't care about it few weeks or months later when when stocks are back at highs. But if you are saying that Trump lets a multi-month bear market to start on stocks right when he comes to his office, I doubt that. I think a lot of this has to do with the panic he created, right? The uncertainty he created about tariffs and all the measures he's taking. And it would be pretty easy for him to reverse the things when he feels like he needs to. So I personally think that no, we are not into a bear market, at least on stocks. On alts, yeah, we have been on a bear market for a long time. He would rhyme. He would have to in the end. I think it's just a game of poker, um, and in the end, he'd have to call his bluff and start reversing things. But let's see. Um, what are your views on alt season? Uh, we are getting an all season, just an inverse. Like, just get rid of all season term, man. Things are down 95%. But jokes aside, if you actually want to be hearing my thoughts on higher time frame for alts, I've been saying that since, like, I would say start of this year. Since alts started bleeding down, that if you think that like most of the alts right now look like this, where they had post Trump victory rally up, they have went like 2 3x up, then they have started bleeding down, and now they have pretty much retraced the entire Trump post Trump winning rally. Now structures like these on higher time frame, these do not instantly v shape reverse back up, right? Structures like these take some good time to accumulate, right? Reaccumulate, form a rounded bottom, form a horizontal accumulation, whatever, and then go into another set of leg up. So right now, most of alts I feel are in this stage where they have started to be within a range. Um, and I do think right now buying them is a good risk to return, because where did my drawing go? Because I feel like you can still buy them for a good, this is a stocks chart, so this 12% is probably 120% on all chart, right? You get my point. So yeah, like right now I feel like most of the alts are at this stage where you can buy and sell them for good 40 50% reliefs, then look for shorts and just try to play this range on alts. I don't think alts go any further down or they go any further up, right? I think just try to play good accumulation and range in coming months, and then buy towards the end of range on spot for some alts run or alt season or whatever you call that, right? So um can you explain the reason behind Ave short? It was just a weak coin that I shorted, man. Nothing too, like right now I can start telling you the reason that I can make up on my own, but I literally saw this price action and I just market shorted just because someone was saying give a short. It was just a very weak momentum considering how RSI looked and this constant lower highs looked. Uh, hmm, what else do you have? Plan on selling spot before summer? Probably Khania. I'm not to be holding spot in summer where the price action is too slow on either direction. Just trade leverage during summers. Still don't knife catch, man. I don't think we are up for a bottom yet. Which memes, Jasper? I think Popcat have gotten multiple positive listings like Coinbase and Robinhood now. Fartcoin, these two, I would say, like, but at the same time, buy small sizes on them, right? Like they can go minus 30, minus 40% in a single day. At the same time, they can do 100% moves to the upside on a single day as well, right? So these two are super volatile memes, but once we get some reliefs, you can assume them to be leading the memes relief. So yeah, Fartcoin and Popcat, these could be good buyers. If you want to be like, you always have to choose the asset you buy based on how much risk you are willing to take, right? Like for example, if the risk appetite on your buyers isn't that much, then go with some higher cap, lesser volatile memes. Things like Pepe, things like Dodge, things like WIF, right? These higher caps, lesser volatile memes. At the same time, the returns on them, you won't expect like 4, 5x buying them or even 2, 3x buying them, right? But at the same time, if you're buying some things like Popcat, APU, Fartcoin, the volatility on them is insane, which means the risk on them is really high as well. But at the same time, these are the coins that you can expect to do multiple X's once BTC finds a bottom into 100K. You Trump wants lower rate to finance his debt. Once Powell cut rate, so there's a good probability we will bottom. Finance his debt? You mean United States debt or some of his like personal debt? Despite how bad the conditions have been, I think the win rate on our shots have still been 100%. Like I don't see a single setup of us shorting that have gone wrong in past months, which is kind of a lesson on how if you go with the trend, it's much easier to be trading. Mhm. Yeah, things look bad. Just don't push right now. Anything in addition to ETH and Sol you want to add? Khan, I think I want to, but I'll wait for some extreme moves to happen for that. Like the issue is it's really difficult to be predicting the bottom on mid caps and lower caps. For example, few days back, I was looking to add ENA along with my ETH and Sol buyers. Now, meanwhile, my ETH and Sol buyers are still in profit and BTC is still at the same price. I started buying spot for myself. But now ENA is making new lows right now, right? Same goes for example, things like AVE. I wanted to buy AVE, but look at what AVE is doing right now. So the issue is the timing these mid caps and low caps could be really difficult when you don't exactly know when the market is going to bottom. And to be honest, no one in this market exactly knows when the market would bottom, right? We all can have a guess on a span within which the market could bottom, but none of us know exactly at the price or the time where the market could bottom. And these mid caps and low caps, meanwhile, could keep on bleeding. So buying them with invalidations, like I don't buy a spot just for the sake of buying and calling myself as a long term investor or something. uh, Whenever I buy a spot, I buy with invalidation, and if they go down further down than that, I am always happy to cut my holdings in a loss. So it's a bit difficult to be buying mid caps and low caps with invalidations right now. So I'd rather size up good on ETH and Sol, so that I don't have to worry about everyday chop and what my mid cap and low cap buys are doing right now. So yeah, I don't think I'll be adding any alt. Also, what's the issue in buying ETH and Sol, man? Just don't be greedy enough uh, and get chopped up in return. I think if you are buying ETH and Sol heavy in around these prices, you'd still get paid decent when the market goes up. Hype, read my corner. I have given my plan. I'll be up to buy hype around like $8. I think if those that have been following my stream, we have been calling for hype to be playing out as whiff since like when it was trading around $20-$30. And it has played out exactly as we expected it to. Now I think you can apply like ENA playbook on it, where it was a airdrop coin launched. People got really bullish on it. It went up, consolidated, distributed for a while, and then just went down only. If you remember what ENA did, and then it went below the listing lows, consolidated for a while, made a rounded bottom, and then did another rally. So that's what kind of you can expect on hype. So kind of just read my corner. What is the reason for AF short, man? I answered. Weren't you the one who asked above as well? What do you think about XRP? It's holding pretty well. Uh, where is XRP? Ooh. I picked up delivery. I seriously like right now I can find reasons on my own to give you why I shorted. But actually I just shorted because it was really weak, to be honest. No, nothing much, nothing fancy. Uh, it was just constant lower highs, momentum not being able to get above 50 on any significant time frame. So it was just a combination of RSI against price and everything pointing towards a breakdown. So nothing too fancy. Fuck. I closed my trading view. Nice. Yeah, market still looks weak. Just don't push. What else do we have? Enough of questions from me. Like, how's the trading on going on your side? Like, I'd love to know how this job is treating you people, how this Halt's bleed is treating your portfolio. My trading and what I think is already public, right? I'd love to know you from you people what you have been doing. 95% cash, so chilling, bought some spot ETH and Sol with you. That's nice. That's nice. Uh, so how is this 95% cash? Like, okay, what I wanted to ask is, when did you decide to be all USDT? Like, is it a decision you made recently, or were you able to capitalize good profits to be able to convert to stables? Just watching the market, to be honest, and just be like be more specific. Okay, today you're watching the market. What about past days, or how this bleed is treating you, how this chop is treating you, how have you been trading? Um, HBJ, I saw a whale very on hyperliquid, and he's 75 on ETH and BTC, and his next bid uh, at 71 450. Man, Rahim, just ignore people. To be honest, and this is like actually a serious advice I'd want to give to you. You seem to be spending too much time around on crypto Twitter, which is not that good of idea. Especially like do not ignore whatever comes from hyper liquid whales and stuff like that in coming days. A lot of the trading that's going there, it's not because a big position knows something that's coming. It's just they are trying to exploit hyperliquid liquidity and the hyperliquid vault there that they have, right? Like for example, yesterday, the summary of what happened was someone longed with heavy position and really high margin, and then at the same time used that pump that it caused because people were following that position and it was a big position in itself, and the candle that it caused he shorted on the other account slash exchange, and then he ended up removing all the excess margin from his position, because if he had just closed his position he would have taken the loss, but instead he just gradually took out all the margin, which meant that hyperliquid had to uh, jump in to cover for his position, and in the end his position was liquidated without him taking any loss, and all the loss was transferred to hyperliquid itself, and he ended up profiting a lot from his short that he had taken on the other account. So it's just manipulation of price action and exchanges. So there isn't any major insider or some Jew, intelligent Jew that knows something and he's trading on hyperliquid. It's just retards trying to trade against each other and exploit each other. So ignore whatever is happening on hype. I think they are taking measures, right? I think they are reducing the amount of leverage you can take on bigger positions, and they are also increasing the minimum margin requirement to be opening really big positions with high leverage. Man, Ave is just free falling. Nice coin that we picked. I think it was Trader Axie, or there was someone who was blaming CZ for all this. So the people are spreading rumors that it's actually CZ trading against Hyperliquid, just to make them exit the markets, because it's like Dex not winning against the centralized exchanges, which he doesn't want to. So he's just trying to bring down the decentralized exchanges. We are back to be nuking. Not a surprise. Ave, if goes till your target is a huge drop, good. Like I have already taken 30% profit time now. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, I don't care. It wasn't a position that I was risking big anyways. Uh, Now what do I think about the market? I think we are going lower, to be honest. Unless I get some strength, I see some strength back on the market. I am inclining, very much inclining towards 75, 74. So let's see. I'm new to day trade. Last 2 months, I was minus 80% on the entire day trade portfolio. So just watching for the moment, that's bad. Could you be a bit more specific on, like, if what are the things that you feel like were the highlights of your drawdown? Like, what were your biggest red days? Like, how much did you maximum lose in a single day, percentage wise? And which day was it specifically? Always try to study your drawdowns. That's the best advice I got, which has helped me improve my profitability by a lot. And that's the advice I would give others too as well. Because every single person, even if he's a beginner, even if he's an expert who has been trading for 10 years, one thing common between all of them, which people actually think the opposite, the common thing between all of them is that every one of us and them are winning trades, right? Winning trades is pretty easy in this market. Every now and then you would definitely get a winning trade. The issue is about the losing trades, right? The issue is about how much you lose and how much you give away, and conditions when you know you shouldn't be trading or you shouldn't be sizing up. In those conditions, you end up sizing more, and then you keep on over trading and oversizing, and then you lose a lot, right? So the only difference, and I have said about this multiple times in the stream, the only difference between a trader who is long term sustainable and really profitable versus someone who blows up his entire account multiple times and then just ends up quitting crypto, being bankrupt, is just one ends up losing way more than the other one, right? I know it sounds very obvious, but the only difference is he knows when not to trade and when not to size up, and the other doesn't, right? Other keeps on sizing up on the most retard decisions. He revenge trades. He doesn't know when to stop. He doesn't know when to size down, and he just doesn't study when his trades are going wrong, right? Like, for example, even um I think yesterday, yeah, it was yesterday or day before yesterday, I just sat down, I opened up my exchange PNL curve because I just was getting bored, and then I just pointed out every single, like, if this is my PNL curve, I was just studying uh, these, like, what are the similarities that I could find in all the major drawdowns in my PNL curve, right? And then I pointed those drawdowns date wise on my BTC chart, and I tried to find similarity, whether, like, if there is a certain price action common between all the drawdowns, um that I can find. And if there is a similar price action in between all these drawdowns in my PNL curve, this means that the only thing now I need to do to avoid these major drawdowns on my PNL is just not to trade those similarities, similar price actions when they come next, right? Because the market always keeps on repeating, right? Market is always a flat circle. The things keep on repeating, the ranges keep on repeating, the trends keep on repeating. So the only thing you need to do is just find similarities on when you lose money, right? Open up your P&L curve and try to see when were the days you lost money, and then see if there is a specific trend or a similarity between the price action or the dates you were trading or the events you were trading or the coins you were trading, right? And then the only thing you need to do is just avoid those things, right? So there were multiple notes that I took yesterday, and I'll try to implement that in coming days and see how that improves my P&Ls, and how well I'm able to improve my P&Ls in long term. Uh, so yeah, that's one advice I would give you, is not to focus on how to win a trade. Trust me, it's the most easiest part of the trading, right? Winning trades, everyone is able to find every, now and then. You go on to Twitter, and it seems like everyone is winning trades, right? Everyone is posting PNLs, everyone is posting green trades, because that's the most easiest part, right? You go to the profit section of Discord, it's filled with green PNLs, right? Because winning trades and having green PNLs on a particular day is the most easiest thing you can have on trading. The difficult part is not to lose and not to end up giving those green PNLs back to the market, which 90% of the people end up failing. So the only way you can work on not losing more than you earn is just study when you lose money, and then just don't repeat the same mistakes again and again. I hope it was a bit useful. If not, we can get back to gambling and people's thoughts on altcoins. Do you risk 1 to 3% still? I know trader, yeah, but how much you want to risk? I want to be more dynamic in spot and futures. 1 to 3 5 going all in. I was going all in 75 of the portfolio with 5x. That's insane, man. You need to be Doctor Zombie. Stop spamming the chart, please. Uh, so how much do I risk? Another thing I'll just go over quickly, and people who follow me, they have heard like gazillion times. Take risk management as a scale, as a slider that you can move in between 0% to like 7%, right? And in between you have 0.51, all these numbers between. Now, and this comes with experience, right? This doesn't come with copy trading. This is why I say none of you would be able to succeed if you are just sticking to copy trading. Now coming back to the discussion, with experience, when you continue to study your PNL curves and how your trading has been going, and when you start journaling your trades, you start to find out that there are certain market conditions you trade really well, there are certain days of month you trade really well, and then on the other hand there are certain days or conditions of the market that you don't trade really well, right? So then you need to decide that in conditions, and that is really subjective for people, right? Like if I tell you that these are the conditions that are really good for trading, doesn't necessarily mean that those would be good for you too, right? Trading is super subjective. Some people trade really well in trending conditions, some people trade really well in ranging conditions, some people trade well in when prices are going up, some trade really well just shorting the way down, right? So it's super subjective on which conditions suit you in particular, but the point is, this risk management slider goes in a way that, for example, if there are conditions that are your favorite, you feel in touch with the market, every trade you are going is going in your taking is going in your direction. The way the levels you are drawing, the structures you are drawing are exactly playing out as you wanted. You keep on moving the slider to the right, because those are the conditions you do not want to manage risk on, actually, to be honest, because those are the conditions you want to risk high. But again, I'm not saying go all in, right? You can see that 7% is the max on the right? You cannot go beyond 7%. But point is, you need to actually increase the risk in those conditions, right? You need to risk more and you need to extract the max out of the market, so that when these conditions reverse, when the conditions get bad and you are not able to get read on the market, you feel like whatever trade you are taking is going against you. Whatever read you are taking on the market is not being accurate, or it's just going totally the opposite. It's not the time where, like, and people tend to do the opposite, right? Like if they lose two three trades in a row, they'd end up risking more even than before, because they now need to not only make profits, but they also want to recover the losses they made on the last trades. So now they are even risking more than they initially started trading with those two three trades in which they lost. So which is kind of completely wrong, right? Because if you end up losing two three trades in a row, that's kind of a signal from the market that stop trading, right? Stop, reduce your size by a lot, and then that's the signal from the market that instead of moving the slider to the right, you need to move the slider to the left and as close to zero as possible, right? So that you are able to survive those bad conditions, and then when the conditions come back to being favorable, you start moving the slider back to the right? So I always say that standard risking is never a way to be long term profitable and have really good equity curves and PNL curves. Because when you get in the market, there are a lot of people telling you to just go with standard risking, right? Risk 2% per trade, risk 1% per trade. But that's, I feel, is completely wrong. If you have good conditions, you should be risking more, right? There is no point in managing your risk if you are trading really good, right? Again, I'm not saying be Deegan and go all in. Always see that there is a 7% cap on my risk on the right side. I cannot go beyond 7%. But my point is, I won't go with smaller size, and I won't go with really conservative risk management if I am being really good with trading on the market, right? I want to extract as much, and then those are the conditions where I'll risk the most I could while keeping risk management in the place. But at the same time, if I start losing, if I end up start if I end up trading bad, which all of us do, right? All of us have bad patches. in our trading. All of us have phases where we have zero idea what the market is about, right? Like some of people think that we, as experienced traders, every single day of the year know what's going to happen or what's happening. No, we don't, right? There is a good part of a week or a month or a year where we have zero idea what market is doing, and we are always wrong about the market, right? And each one of us experience that. But the only difference is that we just know those times, and we just do nothing during those times. Even if we are doing anything during those times, we are just risking very small just to be able to survive and get start pushing again when the conditions get back to normal. So that's it. Now I need to have some water. Hey Pitas, how are you doing, brother? I just did a long 10-15 minute tutorial on risk management. Now I am tired. Why you don't open a trading school in your area? Why would I? Why would I want to? I have zero interest in actually teaching people, to be honest. I don't want to sound rude or self-centered. Um, and I am not actually, because if I was, I wouldn't be streaming every single day and answering people's question and all that, right? But the reason I am not too much of a fan of teaching is because you can't be a good trader by having a teacher or someone giving you lectures on trading, right? Every single one of most successful traders learned on their own. They didn't have a teacher or someone giving them a course or a paid course or something like that. So I'm totally against that. Yeah, I think the best thing beginners could have is just be part of a community. That's it. Bounce your ideas here and there. Interact with smart people every day, and that's it, right? There is no one that's going to hold your hands and make you a profitable trader. None of us had such people. Neither you people going to have such people as well. Um, please share your thoughts on Pepe. So Abdullah Javed was like, enough of your risk management and trading psychology crap, and just let me know about what you think on Pepe. Um, Pepe, I think the daily looks good. I was actually looking for some exposure considering it has been strong lately. I know, man. Like, if you want my high time frame thoughts, unless Pepe is able to reclaim back, um, like, okay, if I have to give you a guesswork on how I expect Pepe to trade in coming times, is this where it ranges in between 5 till 1, 50 till 10, sorry, 50 till 100, however you want to put the numbers, because there are just too many zeros. But this is how I expect Pepe to eventually trade in coming times. Just range around within 20-30%. When gold starts selling off, add it to your confluence. Confluence for what? Tell me anything more to discuss. I actually find these discussions really interesting. Like, unless I have to just go over really basics of risk management, but to discuss people on how their trading has been, and just able to learn from them and able to make them learn, is always a really fun part of streaming, to be honest. Because the part I hate the most is just people constantly asking about alts, and they just want to know whether this coin would go up or down. uh, which is not why we hold streams, to be honest. Like if you are able to get someone on one-to-one discussions, someone who has been trading in this market for years, and you can benefit from his experience, try to use that in a positive way, man. All you people want from us from us is just know that whether a coin would go up or not, which is absurd. I think OPEX can act as a catalyst to trigger bottom. What's OPEX? OPEX, I think I've heard this word. Is it something related to oil? OPEX. OPEX. Stands for operating expenses or expenditures? What? That is. Wait. Okay. Never mind. OPEC. Yeah, right. Right. OPEC is the oil, oil. What do you call that, man? When different countries combine to form a union. Uh, so it's like a trade union on a bigger scale. Whatever. Um, mafia. Yeah, that's a good word, but yeah. I'm down 17% ETH and 35% other alts. Should I continue DC during this market year, which is very uncertain at the moment? Uh, Down 17% ETH and 35% other alts. Mensua, how much does this ETH and alts constitute of your total crypto portfolio? If I get to know that, I'd be better able to comment. And what's the remaining of your portfolio? Is it complete USDTs or what? And what's your actual plan behind the buyers? Were these some short to mid-term investments, or were these long-term holdings? Sorry. And how much of the portfolios are these buyers already? This looks bad. Still confident we get a move into lows unless there is some better looking close on the bottom. I think I might be getting flu soon, which means no streams for a few days. So Ramazan started 2nd of March, right? If I'm not wrong. Anyone who follows up Ramazan, can they let me know? Sunday was the first Ramazan, if I'm not wrong. So second, Friday, Thursday, 27th, 27th, 15, yeah. 1st of March, Saturday for us. Yeah, so it was Sunday for us. Nice, not bad. Which means it's almost like 15 days for me being nicotine and smoke free. I quitted like 2 days before Ramadan. Please talk about how you scale in buys with limit orders when waiting for an all to hit your target when you don't know for certain what price it will reach. How you scale in with buys with limit orders? Elon, like I first of all, good name. I'm glad to be talking with Elon, but yeah, Elon. So, um, are you talking about like spot limit orders or like intraday leverage trading? I'm asking about hype in specific, but you don't like talk about all spot. Yeah, so this is a better way of asking questions, to be honest. Like, ask about journal trading, try to learn about journal trading instead of some specific alt. But yeah, like spot limits, to be honest, overall, the concept about DCing, I'm not too much of a fan. If I find a level that I want to buy, I'll just go good size on that, and just leave some bid, like 20-30%, or at least like I'd be 50% in minimum on the first bid in every single way of trading. Like, even if it's a leverage trading that I want to gradually scale in, I'd still get in 50% minimum on the first bid. Because the point is, let's say that you have a 5% DCA range, just hypothetically speaking, right? The price is coming down. Now you have to decide whether you want to go in heavy over here, or you want to go in heavy over here. The pro of going here heavy on the top is that if it reverses from here, uh, which there is a very good possibility, because this is the reason, there is a reason you have this area and you started scaling in from the top, is because you expect the price to have a possibility of reversing right from the first bid as well. So the pro of having heavy bids at the top is that if the price doesn't go to the very bottom, which it doesn't most of the time, you already have a really good size to enjoy the profits on. But the con is that if it ends up going lower, you'll have a bad entry. Now, how much of a worse entry you would have? Probably like, if you did not go heavy on the top and you went heavy on the bottom, you could have, and considering this is a 5% DCA range, you could have like a 1.5 or a 2% better entry. Now you need to ask yourself, is having 2% better entry worth having a really is worth missing out the chance of making really good profits if it doesn't fill your entire bids? For me, it isn't most of the times, right? I can have 2% higher entry but always be in good size if my trade plays out, because most of the time they don't fill your lower bids, and then you are just in like 20-30% of the position size, which doesn't look bad when you're sharing your PNL cards, but in terms of size, it isn't worth it for your trade to be playing out the way you wanted it to be, right? If you get my point. So for me, having 1-2% better entry isn't really worth it, to be honest. So most of the times, I'm just going heavy in the first level I want to. If market gives lower, I just add slightly, but I am not too much of a fan of DCA, to be honest. I think DCA is one of the most misunderstood concepts, and one of the concepts that actually make people lose a lot. Like, one advice I usually give to new people who find it difficult to be profitable over long term is just stop DCing. Just use single entry on every single trade, and you people can have substantial improvement on your trading, to be honest. Because the concept of DCA, a lot of people, especially new people, I think DCA is actually for people who have expertise in trading, who know when to add and when not to add in a position, when a position is looking good to be adding, and when it's actually looking bad, where you should actually be sizing down instead of adding more. But beginners, how they see is, whenever the price is going lower, they want to constantly adding. And now what you are doing is that the trades that are your winners, that are making you generate profits, they are with smaller sizes. And on the other hand, because every single trade that hits your stop loss is going to go down, right? That's like the most common sense. So the issue, what you are doing is you are sizing up and increasing the size constantly on your losers, while your winners are of much smaller size. So you can never be long term profitable if your losers end up being more heavier than your winners. So I always say that beginners shouldn't be even using DCA, right? DCA is, I actually believe, is for some people, or is for people who actually have expertise in trading, who know when to add and who know when not to add, right? Actually, we did this thing a few, like I think few months back, where we discussed that, and I gave homework to few people, is that next time you have few positions open and you feel like adding more to your positions, try adding to those who are actually green, who are already green, instead of adding to those who are red. Like, I asked some people a question, that if you have three positions open right now, one of them is really really green, one of them is slightly green, and one of them is red. and now you feel like you want to add more, or the market is nuking, which one of the three you would want to add? And I can ask the same question from you people right now, and most of the beginners would say that they would want to add to the position that's red out of the three, right? But that's the mistake people make, right? You are wanting to add on a position which is actually the most underperforming, right? And that's actually the concept of DCA that is being sold to the new people, right? That add more when the price is going lower, which is most of the time wrong, right? Because when the price is going lower means that you are in an underperforming alt against the market. So next time, try adding to the position that's already green, because you are adding to the winner that's strong on the day, and probably that is going to make you more money instead of the one that's already red, and probably it's going to continue underperforming against your other trades. So this comes with experience. So instead of getting into all this mess on which positions to add and when to add and what not to add, just simply let go the concept of DCA, right? Just go in single entry and you trade much better um, than you used to. Uh, there's a statistic that DCA is performing worse than Namsam on. Yeah, beta. So that's my point. DCA isn't for new people, to be honest. If you feel like you're struggling in trading, let go DCA. Go with single bets. Doesn't matter if you are not able to get 1-2% better entry, which doesn't even matter anyways, right? Uh, I think today's stream was too much about trading psychology and risk management, which I feel is super important, to be honest. This thing that most of the time we discuss, drawing horizontal lines and vertical lines, and drawing some abnormal stuff on charts. That's the easiest part of the trading, right? Like I always say, m- most of the TA I know, I can make anyone learn within like 2 to 3 hours max, right? And that is the TA I have learned over the past 4 or 5 years. I can make anyone learn in not 4 or 5 years, like 4 years, right? I can make anyone learn within 2 hours. And that would be the case with every single experienced trader. Because having good TA isn't what makes a trader profitable or not profitable, right? The actual thing is the rest of 60% of trading, which is psychology, which is knowing when to trade, when not to trade, when to size up, when not to size up, have the confidence to be taking your triggers, having control over your greed, having control over your emotions. That's what actually make a trader experienced and profitable over long term, right? TA is the easiest part. So when HBJ one-on-one, never. I tried once, but it's not uh it's not like too much positive in terms of the things you achieve, to be honest. Someone asked what happened to Krayat. I don't know. Is he not in the academy section? Uh, no, I can't see him either. He left. I don't know. I wasn't aware of this, so probably. Mm, yeah. I think I need to be more active in the admin chat, but I have zero idea what's happening. About your companies, like, yeah, I think I need to be aware, to be honest, what's happening around. But yeah, I'm mostly just focused on what's happening on the market and just myself. I think this should be enough of discussions for now, right? We have discussed about market. We had some good discussions about trading psychology and stuff. Do you guys have weekly, like, yeah, we do, right? It's like a proper company, so we are having um company meetings every week or two, discussing about progress, discussing about the issues members are facing. Hmm. John is the boss. Thanks for letting me know, Ryan. I wasn't aware of that. For the past 4 years I've been working for the group. Hmm. I think John is one of the best bosses you could have asked for, to be honest. Like, every time I have asked for a holiday, it's like I just let him know a day or two before, and not once in, like, I think I've been working for the group for like 3 years now, and I've taken multiple holidays, and not for once, um, he has stopped or said, even, he's always encouraging about holidays and taking a break. Every time, after 5 6 months I DM him that I just need a small break and I'm going for a vacation. He's just like, for sure, just go enjoy your break. So yeah, he's one of the best bosses you can hope ask for. uh Weekly PNL in his corner? No, I haven't looked at John's corner. Let me see. On his corner, I can't see that. Jian still I don't know how to pronounce it, whether it's Jian, whatever, because Jian was a cartoon character as well. Uh, but yeah, I have major respect for Jian, to be honest. A lot of things I learned about market mentality, and on the flow side, I learned from Jian and Julia's back in the days. Um, but whatever, like, how do you work for WG? You just show your credibility. To be honest, there isn't something special we any of us did. Um, we were just super active. We learned from the people that were here from before us. A lot of them are still here. Like, I learned most of my things from Woods and Aztecs and Eli, and those people are still here. And it was just about, respecting people around, showing your potential, being active in chart ideas, helping others, learning along the way, and eventually, you get recognized. It's just, and it's not only about this group. It's just a rule of life, right? As long as you are being nice to others, you are helping others, you are working hard yourself. You in the end always end up getting good things in return. Uh, okay, let's get back to market. Pat, wait, what? Man, stop giving me like small heart attacks. Pat is still here. I talked to him like yesterday. I was like, how can he be gone? Yeah, he's still here. Another one of like older traders of WG. I had the pleasure of interacting in my early days and learning alongside. Okay, let's stop talking about groups history and let's get back to market. What do you think about AVAX? They have a good narrative. I was underwater. AVAX, like what? Sorry, like narrative. What narrative? I know what's AVAX. Are you looking to fully deploy your capital? Super. I am already in. First of all, what do you mean by like fully deploy your capital? I'm never fully deploying my crypto net worth ever in this market. Secondly, yeah, I do swing trade time to time. Like I am an Ethan Sol. Uh, but those come with invalidation and stuff. I am not like a long term investor in this market. And secondly, like I'm already in good size Ethan Sol, like Sol 114, 113 in ETH 1800. I will look to add like final parts to them around when BTC gives like mid 75, 73K retest. If it does, if not, then I'm happy with the size I have on Ethan Sol. EVX and HBJ are not friends. True with of crit the game. I have no idea about that. Not worth adding now. Where is Sol trading at? 129. It's not that far away in terms of like, okay, I have an average entry around 114. So it's 6% up from my average entry, but it's a swing spot play, right? So I have invalidation below 80, which is like 30%, and I have targets around first target around 190, 200, which is like 70%. So now having 6% better entry is important to you or not. That's something for you to decide, right? You might not get the exact entry I have, which means you might end up missing the play. But if you stay patient, you might end up getting that. So I'm not the one to decide for you. It's 6% above the entry I gave for the group. So now you can decide on your own. Uh, okay, I got to mention on a coin ID. You want to give your analysis on do we see it ranging between one? I think Rahim it retests like 22, 2300 to the underside, and then it continues ranging for a while. So 2300 is where I'd probably be selling good part of my each spot. So I think there's some squeeze and shots to be taken out into 22, 23 area on ETH before it goes into a ranging price action. Okay, I think I'll be ending now. I want to go out for Sahri with my friends to have a good meal. Enough of staring this price action. We got a good trade today. That's the most we could hope for. Now regarding longs, let's see. I think like I'm not going to be sticking to my downside plan. There's a good possibility that this could be a bottom too, right? Just a higher low scenario. But for that, I'll wait for some sort of confirmation. One could be if this 4 hour ends up closing above 81, confirming this demand, that could be potentially a bottom. But let's see. I'm not looking to force, right? I'll let you know when I feel like this is the bottom. Like I'm again high time frame super bullish, midterm super bullish, but just intraday you have to pick your spot well um before you could start getting into leverage longs, right? So that's it. It's midnight. Go to bed. No, it's like I have to stay awake for the seri, right? Uh, so that's it from my side. Hope you will had a good time. It was actually a fun stream for me after a long time. Having some engaging conversations instead of just alts request. So that's it. Have a good time. Take care. Talk to people soon. Allah Hafiz.